Hello, welcome once again. Good day, everyone, and good evening or good morning. I don't know it really. So, this is your favorite crypto host and crypto space. Stay tuned, everyone, to our honorable guest, actually. Hello, sir. Good day. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Yep, loud and clear.
Okay, yeah. Thank you, sir. Just waiting for you, actually. So, yeah, thank you for having here. And also, I think we can start like everything is okay right now. And also, people don't forget to join all of their social link before kick off the email session. And today we'll discuss more about the layer 1x. So, first of all, sir, could you please say a little bit about yourself, like how do you connect this project and also your experience and also your team as well as to our community?
Yeah, sure. No, thank you very much for having me. My name's Matiu Rudolph. I'm the Chief Operating Officer at LayerOneX. I've been with, well, the LayerOneX project itself has been going now for about 2 years, and I've been with the project for a bit over a year now, I believe. My experience in crypto, my first experience in crypto and blockchain was back in 2017 as an investor, and then as a consultant to a few different projects in the DeFi space. So I've seen some pretty decent evolution of the space within that time. How I got onto LayerOneX and how I became part of the team was I was actually hearing or listening to our founder, Kevin Coutinho, talking about LayerOneX in a presentation. And he started talking about some of the problems that he wanted to solve with LayerOneX within blockchain, and talked about the vision for LayerOneX. And I just got that excited about what he was talking about. Met with him after that, joined the team, started working with the team, and now the team itself has blossomed to around about 50 to 60 people all around the globe. Predominantly, most of the team is based in Perth, Western Australia. We've got a lot of deep experience around development, research, capital raising. We've got a legal team, uh, pretty much covering most different areas. Our founder himself, Kevin Coutinho, has been building in the space and blockchain for about 5 years, but he's been developing for about 2 decades. So he's had experience in building applications, and through that experience in building applications, he wanted to develop a unique layer one, and that's what LayerOneX is. There's so many unique features about LayerOneX. It's not just another layer one. In fact, it's a layer one that really can help connect and alleviate, I suppose, or elevate other layer ones as well.
Okay, yeah. Thank you, sir. Happy to know about yourself and also your team as well as your experience. So, could you say more about your Layer 1x, like how it works in crypto space and also what is your mission?
Yeah, look, ultimately, our mission here at LayerOneX is to really increase global access to blockchain and the benefits it has for humanity. Um, our Initially, the major problems that LayerOneX seeks to solve and currently solves in our technology is really bringing blockchains together. One of the major problems within blockchains is they're very much siloed. They find it very hard to communicate with each other, and so when you're interacting on a blockchain, you're very much in like a closed ecosystem where you can interact with applications and assets on that blockchain. But if you want to then exchange with another blockchain or transfer from this blockchain to the next blockchain, then it's extremely hard to do that. And one of the biggest, I suppose, or most common solutions that people use today, and has probably been the most common solution ever since they were created, are crypto bridges. The issue you have with crypto bridges, I mean, for anyone who's been in the crypto space for longer than a year, I would say, or even less, you would have heard some story about a hack or an exploit on a crypto bridge. So what we plan to do is we plan to remove that risk. And so at the moment, crypto bridges have been subject to over $2.5 billion worth of hacks to date. And if we can remove that risk, and the bridge market is worth about $9 billion, so we can remove the risk and then take quite a large piece of that market, then for for the LayerOneX ecosystem, it's a great benefit, but to the broader crypto user, it's a fantastic benefit. Now that we will allow them to transfer assets, exchange assets cross-chain in a much faster, cheaper, and safer way than any solution out there on the market at the moment.
Okay, yeah, got it. Thank you, sir, for describing this. And also, people, if wanted to know more, just check out their kind of documentation, like visit their social link to know more their future plan and updates. So, as for you, like nowadays, so many projects they are suffering so many problems. Would you say how do you overcome the current barriers to widespread adoption of the blockchain technology and also solve the problems with interoperability in the DeFi?
Yeah, I think when you're talking about, there's probably two questions in one there, right? So when you're talking about pulling down current barriers to widespread adoption of blockchain technology, I think there's probably there's probably a few barriers, but two major barriers are when people that aren't quite used to using crypto or blockchain, when they hear crypto, they automatically think risk. And then secondly, it's quite complex, and it's still quite a complex space to try and understand and educate yourself in. A lot of people's experience or education with crypto and blockchain is through doing, right? Now, if you're using blockchain and crypto, that's a great way to learn. However, it does have its own risks, and I think we're probably all, maybe not all of us, but a majority of us listening at the moment have probably been subject to some sort of hack, scam, exploit, loss of funds. And so when you look at the barriers that we can bring down, one of them is reducing the complexity for the user and the developer, but two is reducing the risk. And so and I think, the interoperability, or the taking bridges out of the equation and the vulnerability and the risk that they pose to users and applications, if we can take that out of the equation, then that's a big risk that's been reduced or taken away within the crypto space. Now, at the same time, if we can make the user experience simple and less complex, I think that also brings down one of the barriers to widespread adoption as well. And it won't just be us. I know we know a lot of projects in this space working on user experience and trying to simplify that so it's not such a big barrier or such a steep learning curve within crypto. Now, when you talk about what are some of the problems we solve in terms of interoperability, not just in DeFi, but I suppose with DeFi and also generally just in general usage. So I'll give you some of the use cases that the technology allows on LayerOneX, because it is quite unique. The technology we use to that integrates chains to LayerOneX and aids in the interoperability between those chains, we call crosstalk. Now, what makes crosstalk different to any other interoperability solution out there? So you've got Polkadot, they focus on interoperability. You've got Cosmos, you've got Layer0, you've got Chainlink's new CCIP. Now, while those solutions are still in many ways better than bridge solutions, they still don't meet the mark that LayerOneX crosstalk hits. And there's some major differences between crosstalk and those other solutions I mentioned. One of the major differences is that we can connect to any chain. So crosstalk can adapt and connect to any chain. Those other solutions I mentioned before, Layer0, CCIP, for example, they don't have, and I'm going to get a bit technical here, but they don't have their own virtual machine. They don't have their own consensus mechanism. Now, why is that important? A virtual machine, and especially a crosstalk virtual machine, almost acts like a translator. So in blockchain, you've got these blockchains built out of different codes in different languages. So it's almost like let's say you've got a group of people, and everyone in that group speaks a different language. Now, it's really hard for them to try and communicate with each other if there's no translator in the room. What a virtual machine does, and what crosstalk virtual machine does, it puts that translator in between chains. So now chains that were incompatible before can now exchange information in a way that both sides of that transaction understand what's happening. So it acts as that translator. Now, the unique thing with Crosstalk is that it can translate any language, meaning that it can connect to any chain. So whether that's EVM, non-EVM, so EVM means Ethereum virtual machine, and a lot of layer 1 or layer 2 chains, I suppose you could call them, have copied or forked the Ethereum virtual machine, and some haven't. So some are non-EVM, so such as Solana, such as Near, such as these other chains that haven't copied Ethereum's virtual machine. Now, what we do, and I suppose an example already of how we can connect to any chain is that we're already connected to 8 chains, and those chains are Ethereum, Binance Smart Chain, Polygon, AVAX, Phantom, Solana, Arbitrum, and Optimism. Those 8 chains together hold more than 80% of TVL across all blockchains. They're all connected through Crosstalk into LayerOneX, and our interoperability solution is baked into our layer 1. So they're all connected to our blockchain, which is LayerOneX. Now, when they connect, it now means that any of those chains, including LayerOneX, can exchange assets. We will evolve to a point where you might be able to use AVAX to buy, like native AVAX, to buy an NFT on Solana. You'd be able to use Solana to invest in an application on Ethereum. And so what we're doing is we're really breaking down these barriers. Now, when it comes to some of the use cases and what that technology provides, is that we're also creating a wallet. Now, because we're interoperable with all of these chains, traditionally, what you would have to do if you wanted to transact on Ethereum, on Solana, on Binance Smart, on all of these chains I mentioned, you would have to have their native token as gas fee, right? So on Binance Smart Chain, you've got to have BNB as the gas fee. You've got to have, on Ethereum, you've got to have Ethereum as the gas token. On Solana, you've got to have Sol. Now, with our wallet, if you've got L1X, which is the LayerOneX token, you can actually use that token as for gas fees or gas fee utility on any of the chains we're connected to, including our chain. So no longer now, and this is a really good example of making the user experience less complex, safer, and simpler. So now, if I go into, with this wallet, and this will evolve, we're currently about to head into mainnet beta, which is about a 5-month period, and then we're launching full mainnet at the end of January next year. And from full mainnet, you'll be able to have, in that wallet, you'll be able to hold the L1X coin, and use that on BNB, Ethereum, Sol, Phantom, Arbitrum, Optimism, any chain we're connected to, you'll be able to use that fee for the gas token, which I think is a great, I suppose, solution for the user experience, right, and making it more simple. Now, the middle of next year, we'll actually be connecting the Bitcoin network as well. So we'll have those 8 chains and the Bitcoin network all connected in this web of chains that can all now interoperate with each other or interact with each other. Now, within the DeFi space, something pretty cool within the DeFi space is that, and a great example of this, we've got a DEX building on us, so a decentralized exchange. A lot of people may have heard or used a decentralized exchange to swap tokens or provide liquidity to. And so this DEX has the ability to actually create a liquidity pool which has all of the native tokens from every chain we're connected to. So within that pool, it's got Ethereum, BNB, Sol, ARB, ETH, OpETH. It's got Phantom. It's got all the tokens, AVAX, of the chains we're connected to. Now, what it does is that forms a massive liquidity pool, or really deep liquidity pool, to enable people to be able to swap cross-chain. So through our system, you'll be able to swap native ETH for native BNB, native Phantom for native Solana, which makes it extremely easy for the user and much safer than a bridge. But what it does for DeFi, it allows protocols and applications to almost consolidate their liquidity onto one chain. What I mean by that is currently you have applications that exist on multiple chains. And we were talking to an application the other day, and they've got $3 million worth of liquidity spread across 3 chains. They've got $1 million on each chain. Now, what that means is that they've got to control 3 different liquidity pools. And those liquidity pools are only $1 million deep each. So when I make it, let's say someone does a large transaction with their token, it's the price impact on that could be fairly great because they've had to kind of disperse their liquidity across multiple chains. What we allow them to do is actually consolidate all that liquidity onto LayerOneX. And now that liquidity can be used as liquidity on any of the 8 chains we're connected to. So in the DeFi space, it's simplifying and I suppose reducing the cost to be able to, of liquidity and holding liquidity by consolidating it onto one chain. Now, when it's consolidated onto one chain, this application won't just have access to 3 chains, it'll have access to 8 chains. So those are some of and they're just 2, the universal gas utility, the pooling of liquidity, they're just 2 of thousands of examples of innovation that will be building on LayerOneX in the coming months and years.
Okay, yeah. Thank you, sir, for the detailed answer. Actually, like, you described very well. And also, I just want to know a little bit about your token. Like, could you say the tokenomics and also the utilities, like where can people buy and also what can they do with your token?
Yeah, no, really good question. So because LayerOneX L1X is the native token of the LayerOneX ecosystem, it is classified as a utility token. So it draws its value from the amount of utility it has. And so our focus is to give as much utility to the LayerOneX or the L1X token as possible. So one of the utilities I talked about is that in our full mainnet, which is end of January, you'll be able to use the L1X token as the gas token on any of the chains we're connected to. So it'll be a gas utility on 8 chains, including LayerOneX and any other chain we add. Now, the DEX, which is native to LayerOneX, which is building on LayerOneX, their token, so normally you'd have a DEX and they'd have their own token. Like, for example, Pancake Swap, their token is Cake. Highly inflationary, right? So cake, the price of cake value of cake just keeps on dropping because really there is no other not many utilities for the cake token to be able to suck up that increased supply with match it with demand. With the DEX on LayerOneX, they're using L1X as the token. So you'll be rewarded L1X token. You can create balancer pools and liquidity pools from the L1X token. You'll be able to stake the L1X token, and you'll be able to use the L1X token and multiple applications that we've got coming and onto the platform and building on the platform as well. Now, of course, there'll be other tokens that exist on the platform, but our aim is to give as much utility in the applications that are built on the platform to the L1X token. And then in terms of the stage we're in, so we're actually running our public sale right at the moment. So our public sale is split up into 2 parts. We've got the public sale we're running now, which is the token is priced at 50 cents. And then we're going to have our the second part of our public sale before we do full mainnet, which will go in January. And that second part, the token will be priced at $1. So right now, the public sale's on. You can get into the public sale by buying the L1X token at 50 cents, and there is no vesting. So once you purchase your tokens in the public sale, when mainnet beta goes live, then you'll be able to claim your tokens and start to interact with the protocol during the mainnet beta phase, which is over the next 5 months. To find out information about the public sale, we've got our social links. Please visit our website as well. You'll be able to see that. We've got a great community, some fantastic moderators, some fantastic community members that are willing to answer questions and kind of embrace you into the LayerOneX community. But I would say that there's a lot of utilities that you'll be able to use for the L1X token, and they'll only continue to grow. And every time we add a utility, it just adds additional value to the token itself or the coin itself.
Okay, yeah, got it. And also people, yeah, as he mentioned, like if you have any more question and query, can ask and take part on their public sale and support them. As you know, like community is everything actually. So to support the LayerOneX. So, sir, I have one more question. What are the key benefits for the developers and also participants if they use your LayerOneX? Could you specify some reasons and also the benefits?
Yeah, definitely. And I'll probably just touch first, before I answer that question, I'll probably touch on those utilities I mentioned. So for the bridge market, right? So to be able to, the bridge market currently is valued at about 9 billion. And we have a very good solution that could take a big chunk of that market. The utility, L1X token as the gas utility token on all of these 8 chains. The size of that market, so just to kind of give people an idea to quantify the value, is that the total gas fees accumulated on the 8 chains we're connected to just in 2022 was almost $14 billion. So, and those are just 2 markets that we look to take a piece of. There's multiple other markets. There's gaming. There's other DeFi. There's plenty there. But for the benefits for developers, maybe let's talk. Take this in 2 parts. So you asked me about the benefit of developers and also the benefits to participants that use the L1X coin. So let's have a look at developers. So at the moment, developers are building applications. And often they're building applications on a chain that doesn't or finds it hard to interact with another chain. It means that when they build an application on a chain, they're limited to the capital and the users that are on that chain. So while it could be a robust ecosystem, that blockchain, so there may be some good numbers of capital and users, maybe there's not, but the advantage to building on LayerOneX is not only do you have access to users and capital on LayerOneX, but now you have access to users and capital on every chain LayerOneX is connected to. So, and like I said before, those 8 chains hold more than 80% of TVL across all blockchain. So if I'm developing and I've got a choice to build on LayerOneX and access, a huge, probably the majority of crypto users, active crypto users in the blockchain space, if I can access the majority of those and I can access the majority of capital with my application without needing bridges, and it's probably worth me mentioning as well, the transaction fee, the gas fee for native transactions on LayerOneX are capped at 1 cent gas fee. So if I'm an application, I'm building on LayerOneX, I have access to the majority of users, the majority of capital, and native transactions performed on my application on LayerOneX only incur a 1 cent gas fee, then the benefits, the scale, the growth that application has exposure to is better than any other chain out there. Because even if you look at Ethereum, right, Ethereum itself that has access to the users and capital on Ethereum, and you might want to use a bridge and try and access another chain. Now with us, an application still has access to the capital and the users on Ethereum, but now you can add in Binance Smart Chain, you can add in Solana, you can add in Polygon, you can add in Arbitrum, Optimism, Phantom, AVAX. And so that's the difference between building on LayerOneX and building on any other chain in the space. And I think there's a massive difference for developers. Not only that, when you look at the complexity that's involved with trying to add another, like a interoperability solution into your application, that's not a bridge because obviously they're extremely risky. But even if you look at Chainlink CCIP, so they released a masterclass the other day on utilizing CCIP for developers. That is an extremely complex process multiple different steps, multiple different things, so many things and complex things you have to do to be able to just connect that up and have that working in your application. As is much more simple. It's a lot. All you have to do is basically we'll have our own video instructions, very simple. It's an SDK you plug in. So the user experience, I suppose, even for the developer is simplified as well. Now, if we look at participants and the benefits for using the LayerOneX coin. So, and the benefit, I think it's safe to say that there's all the benefits I talked about and all the other benefits that are going to come because of the applications that will be progressively building on us over the coming weeks, months, and years. But what the benefits for, I suppose, let's take the gas fee token, LayerOneX on multiple chains. Now, yeah, great. That's really convenient. Now you don't have to. You can use one coin on multiple chains for gas fee. That's brilliant. But the cost savings of that also have to be taken into consideration for participants. So if we look at the cost saving just on that one utility, now you don't have to, and I don't know about anyone on the spaces here, but often I've probably got, $2 here, $5 here, $10 here, 50 cents here of all these little tokens I've got on multiple chains that I've had to buy to use for gas, but I haven't used it all, right? So it's just wasted capital across all these different chains. You won't have that issue with LayerOneX because you won't have this redundant coin that you're not going to use again for gas fee because you'll have the LayerOneX. But also acquiring LayerOneX token, you could acquire the LayerOneX coin, on LayerOneX at a 1 cent gas fee. You can acquire it there, and then you can go and use that for gas fees on Ethereum, on Binance Smart Chain, on all these other chains. Now, if you wanted to use ETH on Ethereum, you would have to acquire that ETH on Ethereum. Now, that's going to cost you anywhere between $5 and $60, or maybe even more, right? Just because of the transaction fees on Ethereum are so expensive. But if you can acquire a gas token that can be used on Ethereum at a 1 cent gas fee, then the savings on that are obvious as well. Other benefits to, I suppose, for participants on LayerOneX is that the wallet we're building out, it will continue to evolve, and it will basically evolve into your main interface to access blockchain and access crypto. So within the wallet, you'll be able to do things like see all your tokens from any chains that we're connected to all in one interface. You'll be able to swap native coins on one chain for a native coin on another. So as I said before, your native ETH for native BNB, native Phantom for native Sol. We're building other things into the wallet where you'll be able to access. So one of the things we're building in there, and this will be in the evolution of the roadmap of the wallet, so in the coming months, but you'll have an ads platform in there that's projects or businesses, whoever can advertise to you if you wish them to. Now, if they're advertising to you, then you will actually gain the marketing revenue produced from those ads. So you'll have a share in getting paid to be advertised to. Now, what happens at the moment, Facebook takes all that. Google takes all that. So what we want to do is build into the wallet not only just a great user experience with the blockchain, but it's your data. You might as well be rewarded for it. Now, not only that, as well as that, there's various different ways that you can be rewarded for participating on LayerOneX. Now, traditionally, participation in terms of securing the network is done in a proof of stake chain, similar to, say, Ethereum. You take your tokens, you stake it on the node, and then you share in the transaction fees or the block rewards that come through for staking. Now, we have that. We have the proof of staking that we have. But also on top of that, we've got two different nodes you can stake to, two different nodes you can run. So we've got a full validator node and an event lister node. So we've got multiple options there. But also, just by having the LayerOneX wallet on your phone, you'll be able to get rewarded for validation, because one unique thing that LayerOneX allows is mobile validators within the consensus mechanism. So we don't just use full nodes, we enable mobile devices to be able to be validated. And by having the wallet in your phone, you automatically go into the validator pool. And if you're randomly selected for validation, you will be airdropped some of the fees from that validation straight into your wallet without actually having to do anything. So there's multiple different ways that you can benefit from being a participant, if it's being active with an application, whether it's being on LayerOneX or another chain, or just being active in securing the network by having the wallet on there.
Okay, yeah. Thank you, sir, for the detailed answer. So, yeah, I would like to say people, if you want to know more, actually, like if you have any more question and query, you can ask this email and you can ask on their other social media. So, sir, I think we can take some question from the community. I saw people are waiting to ask you some question. Are you ready?
Yeah, please.
Okay, first of all, I can see here Alifa. Hello, Alifa. Hello, Alifa, are you there? Ask your question, please.
Hello.
Yeah, ask your question.
Okay. My question, how many team members do you have? Do they have enough experience in the blockchain field? Do they have any experience on working in crypto and non-crypto project? That's my question.
Yeah, thanks, Alifa. And thanks for asking. So, yeah, I'll give you a bit more of a detailed explanation of the team itself. But within our core development team, so that are working on the protocol itself, we have 20 engineer level developers, and those developers are all experienced in blockchain development. They're all engineer level developers, and our head. Our founder actually leads the development team. He's the genius behind the technology. Now, he is extremely stringent in the quality of developers that we have on board. So we've got developers from multiple different blockchains that have been engineering developers on multiple different chains. So we've managed to bring these quality developers. And look, and some haven't made the grade, and some haven't lasted. So we don't take long to figure out who's up for the task and who's not. But the 20 developers that we have are extremely experienced developers at the engineer level. So you've got some really great minds working on the protocol itself. We also have an arm of Web3 developers based in India as well. We have experience our chief strategy officer, Mike. He's actually been working in cryptography. He first encountered cryptography back in the 80s, right? So he's been in the space for a long time. He's worked in multiple TradFi institutions, large investment banks. Our lawyer who heads our legal team, he's one of the most respected blockchain lawyers within Australia. We've got a depth of experience in capital raising through another founder of ours as well. So yeah, we've got and in terms of the numbers of people, about 50 to 60. Why I say 50 to 60 because there's always people that are coming onto the team because we're expanding at such a rate.
Okay, Alifa, hope that you got your answer. Thank you for your question.
Thank you so
And
much.
don't forget to follow and join their social links. And next one is Gary. Hello, Gary.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. So my question is, how does your project aim to address the three core issues in the blockchain industry: security, scalability, and interoperability? Thank you.
Hey Gary, I just make sure I got the question. So how do we plan to deliver on security, scalability, and interoperability? Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, thanks for the question. So look, I'll add another one to that, right? So decentralization. So basically, the platform that we're delivering in LayerOneX aims to deliver on all four of those features: decentralization, security, scalability, and interoperability. Now, I think I've talked a bit about the interoperability already in terms of the novel technology and the benefits our solution has over the other solutions in the market. But if we look at, say, let's look at security, because if you look at the potential of crosstalk, which is the technology we use for interoperability, that has the potential to really bring on mass adoption. If you're providing a solution that is cheaper, faster, safer than bridges at the moment, then really the growth of activity on that is going to be ever increasing. So security has to be at the forefront of everything that we do. So within our consensus mechanism and our virtual machine, we've got a few different things we use in terms of building up the security to make it highly secure. So one of the things we do is we use a form of AI, right, which is a machine learning algorithm system called HTM, now, or hierarchical temporal memory. It's just it's a very wordy, but HTM is what we use. Now, what that does, it allows our system to spot bad acting nodes before they do damage. So it's almost like pattern recognition through the machine learning algorithm. So that is one unique security measure we have in the consensus mechanism in the virtual machine itself. Another one we have is that the fact that we actually use mobile-enabled devices means that we can actually distribute the workload. So decentralization means basically taking the decision-making and control from a central entity and moving it to a distributed network. So by having mobile-enabled devices being able to validate, it means that the potential number of validators on the system could be in the millions or the billions. And so when you're having all that increase of participants, not only is it decentralizing it, but it's also it's reducing the chance for a single point of failure, right, or a single attack vector. Now, on top of that, we also use randomization, and we break down the workload so it's spread across in our consensus mechanism as well. So those features kind of combine in providing not only security, but also decentralization to the system. Now, the last one I think you mentioned was scalability. So in terms of scalability, one of the things that we've done is never been done before in blockchain before. So there's a few things that have never been done, but this one is specific to scalability. So our team, led by Kevin, has managed to be able to, most applications are built using WebAssembly. Now, the issue with WebAssembly, it can't access system resources, right, which reduces performance, or it inhibits performance. What we've managed to do is recompile the code of WebAssembly into what we call eBPF, which has never been able to be done before. And why we've done that is that eBPF can access system resources. So some of the things, what does that mean? For Web3 games, it means being able to provide Web3 games with Web2 graphics. Also, by accessing system resources, it means that we can get 10 to 20 times the speed performance on those applications as well. So we're already at a capacity of 100,000 transactions per second. We have a transaction finality of 1.5 seconds. Now, we've also got the ability to create a subnet. So a subnet is it's like its own blockchain connected to the main chain. Now, in that subnet environment, it allows for higher speeds. Now, we haven't done official testing on this, but we're looking at the numbers, and we're looking at roughly between 750,000 to 1 million transactions per second on the subnet. So when it comes to scalability, in terms of speed, being the throughput capacity and the speed of transaction finality, then that's another box we tick as well of the 4 boxes, which are decentralization, scalability, security, and interoperability.
Okay, Gary, hope that you got the answer.
Yeah. Thank you. Answered very well. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks, Gary.
thank you, Gary. And follow their social link, actually. Next one, I can take Nadia. Hello, Nadia.
Hello, Matiu. Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, welcome. Ask your question,
All
please.
right. So I just wanted to know what's the role of the validators in your project and how does people apply for it? And also, what advantages do you gain from the validators?
Yeah, so basically, so I think what you're asking there, Nadia, is probably around hosting nodes. So uh, there's three different role types for nodes within our with our consensus mechanism and our crosstalk technology. So you've got these three roles are you've got event listener nodes, which aid in the crosstalk technology, so the interchain interoperability, and then you've also got full validator nodes. That's another role, and then you've got signing and broadcasting nodes. So people are able to host two of those. So you can host either an event listener node, or you can host a full validator node. Now, we have a limit of nodes that we're going to be allowed to run. It'll be in the hundreds, so there's plenty of nodes there running. But we're going to limit that. Now, to get access to be able to run or host a node, then you'll need to take part in our public sale, because to host an event listener node, it'd be a minimum of 10,000 L1X coins. And to host a full validator node, it's a minimum of 50,000 L1X coins. Now, the benefits for hosting those nodes is that you will enjoy more rewards from the block rewards from the transactions than normal staked APRs. So let's say you've got someone delegating their stake. So I take my coins, I stake it on a node. That's stake delegation. That will enjoy an APR or block rewards. But the node hosters will enjoy those same rewards plus additional rewards for actually hosting the nodes as well. And on our website, we've got a blog on our website about nodes, but also, once again, within our community, our moderators are more than happy to answer any questions. But there is on our website, there's a really good blog around the nodes.
All right. Thank you very much for the explanation, and I wish you the best in your project.
Thanks, Nadia.
Yeah, thank you, Nadia, for your question. Next one is Skylar.
Yeah, so what are the function and benefits of LayerOneX token? How can LayerOneX find a balance between developing technology and increase the value of the token? Are there any benefits for long-term holder? What tactics do you have in place to boost token demand and depletion? Thank you.
Yeah, really good question, and thanks for asking it. Is there benefits for long-term holders of L1X coin? I think to put it frankly, the biggest benefits are for long-term holders of L1X coin. So let me explain why I say that. On our roadmap, so we actually have a roadmap that takes us all the way up until 2027. So we've already achieved some pretty significant milestones in blockchain technology already. But one of the other significant milestones we plan to achieve is, one, we will be connecting the Bitcoin network in 2024, and that will be part of the ecosystem of chains we're connected to. And we'll be looking at other chains to connect as well, but the big one will be the Bitcoin network. Now, once we connect up the Bitcoin network, that's even more capital that these applications have access to, makes it more attractive to build on LayerOneX. And when building on LayerOneX, more applications give more utility to, obviously, the tokens on LayerOneX, but also, and probably more importantly for L1X coin holders, gives more utility for the L1X coin. Right? Now, beyond 2024, and there's a few other things in the roadmap, but beyond 2024, when we look to 2025 and 2027, our big goal there is actually to develop out a decentralized operating system with decentralized hardware and a decentralized app store. So imagine a scenario where you could actually build a website directly on the blockchain. You could everything is decentralized websites. Everything's fully decentralized. You can tokenize, so you have all the benefits of Web 2, but you have tokenization. You tapping into the interoperability. Getting to that, when we get to that point in the roadmap, the utility of the L1X token with those features there will be extreme, like, because that will be the token driving the operating system, the app store. You'll have DNS options where you can build a website, and it will be powered by the LayerOneX coin. So, and this is not financial advice, but what I would say with that on our roadmap and what we've already done so far, I would say the only reason why you want to get the LayerOneX coin is because of the long-term benefits. Obviously, there'll be massive amounts of short-term benefits, but when you look to that horizon, that's an extremely exciting horizon for us and for any LayerOneX coin holder.
Yeah, very nice, sir. Thank you. Keep building, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Skylar, for your great question. And the next one, Iconic. Hello, Iconic.
Hello. As you tell that if we participate in L1X public sale, there will be no vesting period. So if all investor will get the 100% of their token at TG, I believe they will start at selling. So how will maintain the price at the time? And lastly, what's the minimum amount I need to participate in your public sale?
Cool. Great questions. I'll kind of answer that in reverse. So the minimum amount to participate in the public sale is only 100 USD, right? So you can go onto our website, you can go into the buy button, and it'll take you through to the public sale, and then you've got 4 different options to contribute into the public sale. So the release of the tokens through the public sale, and in terms of why we're doing that and why we're running mainnet beta, it kind of works hand in hand. So the release of the tokens in the mainnet beta phase, which is opening up on the 31st of August, during the mainnet beta phase, you'll be able to utilize the token in a few different ways: staking, gas utility, and you'll be able to utilize the token on the DEX and other applications that are going to be building during mainnet beta. That goes for 5 months. Now, the token tradability, of the token will happen in full mainnet, which will be the end of January 2024. So you can acquire the token, no vesting now, at 50 cents in part 1 of the public sale. Part 2 of the public sale will be $1, right, before full mainnet in January. So there's an automatic, I mean, I'll let you do the maths on that. That's an automatic benefit there. But in terms of what we're doing while we're running mainnet beta, it will allow for a few different things. It will allow for more users on the system, more holders of the LayerOneX coin. Also, we'll have peer-to-peer trading sometime in the latter part of this year, towards the end of this year as well. That will open up. So sometime around October, I believe, or November, that'll open up anyway for trading if people do want to trade within the mainnet beta period. But what will happen is we have more applications building on the chain. More people utilizing the wallet, more people utilizing the LayerOneX coin. We'll be having some pretty exciting staking incentives as well that we're going to be releasing fairly soon. So there'll be plenty of things that you'll be able to do and be active in the system without the token being tradable. Not only that, the mainnet beta actually gives us an opportunity to showcase the difference between applications built on LayerOneX and versus applications built on other chains. Because our technology is so unique, it's sometimes hard for people to grasp what it actually means or what it can do. So the mainnet beta is a perfect opportunity for us to showcase those differences. And by showcasing those differences, it will get even more eyes on LayerOneX, even more applications wanting to build on LayerOneX before that token becomes tradable. So that's our plan, to be able to have more applications, more users, more demand for the token before it becomes tradable at the end of January. Plus, we have a pretty exciting staking incentive in place as well.
Thank you for your answer.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Iconic, for your question. So, sir, I think we are at a phone now. Like, we got 5 minutes from here. So, do you want to share anything else before wrap up this segment?
No, other than thank you so much for having me. It's always a pleasure to talk about LayerOneX to any community, and thank you for letting me talk to your wonderful community as well. I would just stress that it's really LayerOneX is quite a unique project. So I I definitely encourage people to go down the rabbit hole a little bit and find out more about what we're doing. And the best place to do that is through our socials, as I said. Discord's pretty vibrant, Telegram. We've got a few different places that you can actually, get active with our moderators. So I encourage you to do that because it's worth learning a little bit more about in terms of what the potential is at LayerOneX.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, sir. Happy to and also I'd like to say people thank you for having here and also join their all of their social link to know more about their project. And if you have any more question, you can ask later on the Telegram and TG and other social media. So thank you, sir, for your time to our community and best wishes to your project.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone. Good day. See you another day. Bye.